pleasure. I think we're going to have a conversation with Justin B. Marshall, our new correspondent from the west coast of California, based in Monterey County in Carmel by the Sea, California, himself a purveyor of cannabis products in the form of topical creams, vapes, and other things that they actually provide for free to cancer patients, which is why we instantly like Justin so much. Here is that conversation. Hey, welcome back to Midas Letter Live. My guest in this segment is Justin B. Marshall, joining us from Carmel, California via Skype. He is one of the master cannabis growers in Monterey County. Justin, thanks for joining me.
James, thanks for having me here.
Justin, I'd like to start with an explanation of exactly what is your business down there in Carmel, California.
I'm a cannabis consultant. I train doctors, patients, investors on the benefits of cannabis. Also, we make products trying to help heal the world.
Beautiful. What kind of products do you make?
We make a CBD THC sports cream. And basically what this does is we have a higher CBD and THC count than any of our competitors at a much lower price. So we would like to get this product out there.
Yeah, interesting. So how did you come to be in that business in California?
James, I've been growing cannabis for 40 years, and I've been brokering produce for about 30 years. We decided about 3 years ago that we would like to use the medicine in the cannabis to heal cancer patients, and actually patients with AIDS and a wide range of diseases.
Interesting. So so you make these creams, these topical creams. Who's your market for these? Is it just athletes?
Well, we're starting with athletes and retired athletes, and we're also dealing with basically anybody that needs it. We're selling through boutiques and massage parlors, just basically, and we have opening an online platform soon. But that's basically what we're doing. Also, I'm looking at the global cannabis industry and seeing how it's going to impact California and how we can be a part of it.
Very cool. So you grow all of the plants that go into your product?
No, actually, we grow some of the plants that go into our product. We do a lot of testing. We're actually coming up with new strains. We're developing strains, as we've been doing for years. And we feel these strains will be very popular in the future. We're basing our business model on the Cookie Crew, and they're excellent branders from San Francisco area that have been in the branding of their strains for quite some time, and they're doing a great job at it.
Yeah, so in California, I've noticed that since the legal sort of statewide laws have come into place, that the cost of cannabis to a consumer has gone up by 40% thanks to taxes. And at the same time, there's a huge supply squeeze because the stringent rules governing testing means that 70% of the cannabis growers trying to supply the retail market can't actually provide cannabis that's free of pesticides. Is that a problem that's going to persist, or is that a problem that's going to be solved?
That is a problem. You're right, James, and I heard you talking about this yesterday on your show. I'm seeing that on the street. Right now, there's basically 7 or 8 strains that are available in dispensaries, opposed to 40 or 50, which I saw a couple years ago. And what that means is people that are doing the large grows are not able to grow the special strains that a lot of us cannabis connoisseurs want. They're finding losses. They're getting mold. They're not able to grow this correctly. So what we're doing is we're now have an initiative in Monterey County where we're able to grow cannabis outdoors as well. And we've been doing that for 40 years here and finding it to be very organic and quality.
Okay, so you were telling me earlier about your approach to making the mildew resistant, and you said you added something to the soil.
Actually, James, we add actinovate. Yes, we add actinovate to the young plants as they're growing. And so we water that in. It becomes part of the plant, and it becomes mold resistant. So as the plants mature, they're very less likely to get mold. And we also, of course, use strains that are naturally mold resistant. For example, we're crossing a Frisian Dew with a Big Sur Holy Bud this year, and that's going to create a special lifted Lighthouse strain, which is one of our brands. And so when we're coming up with new strains and new CBD, high CBD strains as well, we're able to cross mold-resistant plants and add the actinovate.
Okay, so this ingredient, actinovate?
Actinovate, yes.
And it's an organic fungicide.
That is correct.
What is it made from?
I don't know the exact ingredients. Our people in the science department are well versed on that. I don't know exactly what it's made of, but I do know it's organic.
Okay, so why aren't all of these growers who are having problems getting weed through the testing process, why aren't they using it now?
That's a great question, and maybe some of them are. We just learned about this last year, and so it's pretty much new for growers to understand. It's breaking technology as far as I'm concerned. Most people didn't know about this last year.
That's really interesting. So let me ask you, Justin, you've got this nucleus of a great business by the sound of it. How are you going to, are you like seeking to grow it into a national brand?
Eventually, once cannabis becomes federally legal, we would love to go national and international if possible, and global. For right now, we're very happy being in the state of California, and the new laws that have opened up here are very, very promising, you know, and we embrace what's happening in the cannabis culture here in California and what's happening with cannabis industry.
Huh. Do you think that the increase in the cost of cannabis for the retail consumer, i.e. they've got to pay an additional 40% in taxes now above what they used to get it for from their dispensary, do you think that's going to make more people turn to what we'll call illicit sources?
I certainly do. And that's something that I noticed Cam Batley was talking about a few weeks ago. I watched an interview of his. He also feels this way, I noticed, that if we could lower the taxes, we can secure that the legal cannabis will go to the consumer. Right now, if cannabis is so expensive and a person could go on the street and get it for 1/3 the price, they're going to do that. You know, it's just common sense. And so by lowering the taxes and increasing the availability for consumers to get at a dispensary the quality cannabis that we're looking for, the medicine that we need, then that will make a big difference, yes.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. That's really interesting. So in Monterey County, how many dispensaries are there?
We had 2 new dispensaries open up last week. We have one in Carmel, actually, that's been here for about a year and a half, that is similar to the MedMen store, but a little bit classier. I'd love to give you a tour sometime. It's very nice. It's very warm and inviting, and the bud tenders are extremely knowledgeable. And the prices are higher, but I noticed that Bruce Linton one time was saying that his ideal clientele would be the woman with the Gucci bag. Well, that's all we have here. This is a very exclusive neighborhood, so we have a lot of money here. And we're able to help these people get the medicine they need, the organic medicine they need.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Justin, next time we come there, which shouldn't be more than a couple weeks from now, we're going to come and see you first.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you're just south of San Jose.
Yeah, 2 hours south of San Francisco on the coast.
I've heard
Beach, a beautiful golf course here, world famous golf course.
Wow. Well, I'd have to take up golfing for that to be of interest. But okay, so the idea of topical creams is something that we don't hear too much about at this point in the evolution of the cannabis industry. So I guess what you're telling me is that CBD rich creams applied topically actually have an anti-pain effect, anti-inflammatory effect?
Yes, James, you're absolutely right. And after doing some very careful market research, I found that using a CBD full spectrum isolate taken from the Fedora strain of cannabis is what we're using, as opposed to using a CBD that's extracted from hemp, the first is better. So we use a better source of CBD, which has got 250 cannabinoids in it, opposed to about 100. And so using a better quality of CBD in our product works a lot better, and all of our patients agree. Secondly, we are able to get this at a very reduced price. We're able to buy it in bulk down here using local extractors and get the top quality stuff.
Okay, so does it follow then that there are some CBDs among the 250 that you mentioned that are more actively sort of able to mitigate pain than others?
Yes, James. I've been following very close what's going on over there in Israel, as they've been studying cannabis and the cannabinoid profile, the endocannabinoid system for 30 years. Their scientists have a lot of information that they're very willing to talk about. So in studying what these scientists have found, it is the entire full spectrum of cannabinoids that actually heal and kill the pain. So just isolating one cannabinoid doesn't really do it as well as having 250 cannabinoids working together.
Huh. That is interesting. I have a feeling I'm going to learn a lot coming to visit you.
I hope so, James. Likewise.
Yeah. Okay. Well, tell you what, Justin, we're gonna leave it there for now, and we're gonna come back to you probably in another day or two. We want to see your garden. We want to see your products, and so this is just the first of what I'm sure is going to be many conversations. Topical creams. Very interesting. I can't wait to try a topical cream. I've very seldom had used to use pain creams, so not sure what I'm going to do with it, but I'm sure I can come up with something. Anyways, that was Justin Marshall. He's in Carmel, California, and we're going to go down and visit him because he's got a really interesting operation down there. Let's see, what else is going on in the cannabis world? Earlier I was talking about the performance of the cannabis companies, and I was saying it was another down day, but I stand corrected by our very own indexes, which, the Midas letter small cap index is up 14.2%.
Yay!
Up 112 points, and the Midas letter CSE index is up 16%.
Yay!
So